From KGW News, this is Straight Talk with Laurel Porter.
Hello and welcome to Straight Talk. I'm Laurel Porter. Decision 2020 saw a record number of candidates who were women and women of color run for office and win. Here at home, Nafisa Faye, an immigrant from Somalia, made history with her victory in the Washington County Commissioner's race. She becomes the first black member and first Muslim member on the commission. In Westland, Jules won the race for mayor. She'll be dealing with the scandal in the Westland Police Department following the wrongful arrest of a black man. Walters is promising to make the community a welcoming place for all to live and where all residents feel represented. Behind the scenes, helping these women and many others is a nonprofit assisting Democratic women run for office at all levels. I'm pleased to welcome as my guest Jillian Shoney, CEO of Emerge Oregon, and Washington County Commissioner-elect Nafisa Faye. We'll meet Westland Mayor-elect Jules Walters in our next segment. Welcome to Straight Talk. It's nice to have you both here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Let's begin with you, Nafisa. You won your seat on the Washington County Commission with 58% of the vote. And as I mentioned, you become the first black member and first Muslim member on the board. What does that mean to you?
It means so much. I'm honored and excited that the voters in my district chose me. You know, this is a critical job with huge responsibility, and I'm honored to have their trust in me to really fulfill that and to be that commissioner that's transparent and accessible. And I'm also honored to join a list of a lot of firsts here in Oregon, especially for communities of color. You know, Joan Hardesty being the first and Carmen Rubio, and I'm really excited to have that support and group of people that were ahead of me that, you know, that I can look into and seek guidance and advice from. Also, Mohammed El Juri was the first Muslim also elected on the PCC board. So I'm excited to have so many different communities of color who've been first and know what have lessons learned and understand what's like to be the first, and I'm pretty sure they have some exciting news for me and what to avoid. And I'm, you know, if I'm honest, I'm also scared. You know, to be the first is scary in itself. So I'm confident that we'll make things happen for District 1 in Washington County, and to be a voice that represents and reflects the people in our county.
Which is becoming much more diverse. I think I read that in Washington County, more than a third of the residents are non-white residents. You were born in Somalia and your family fled that country's civil war. You came to this country as a teenager about 22 years ago. Give us a little more about your background and how it shaped who you are today.
Yeah, you know, when the war happened and as a little girl in the refugee camp, I had a dream that when I come to America, because there was never an if, because when you're holding on to hope, it's always, you know, when. And my dream was when I come to America to work for the American Red Cross or the United Nations, the UN, because they were the two organizations that were helping us in the refugee camps. You know, the tents and the blankets that we were using were plastered with the UN logos, and other, you know, the food and the health stuff that we were given to also had Red Cross logos. So my dream was when I come to America, I would work for those one of those two organizations. And when I finished my schooling upon arriving here, I found out the nearest UN was in San Francisco, and I couldn't convince my mom that San Francisco was another state, part of America. You know, she was like, nope, we just got here, you're staying here. And I was lucky enough to find the American Red Cross headquarters be 2 blocks up of the low-income housing that we were living in Northeast Portland. And I was fortunate enough to start my career there and work there for nearly a decade, and then transition to public health because I, you know, wanted to switch my lab coat and the gloves and the face shield to really a tennis shoes, sort of to say, to be boots on the ground and to contribute differently to the community. And, I decided to become a community organizer and worked in public health in different ways. And now here I am as an elected official. And
well, congratulations, and we'll talk more about your career as a healthcare professional too. Yes, applause for you. You're also a mom. We have a photo of you with your 3 boys. Your youngest just 9 months old, so you were campaigning while you were pregnant during the pandemic. That had to have been tough. I want to bring Jillian in because you're the CEO of the nonprofit Emerge Oregon. What does Emerge Oregon do, and how did you get connected with Nafisa?
So for the last 10 years, we have worked hard to recruit and train Democratic women from around the state, women of all ages, over 15% of whom identify as LGBTQ, over 30% women of color, many of whom are first-generation Americans. And truly, they reflect the diversity of women that we should have in elected office. So it was through that recruitment and training effort that I had the privilege of meeting Nafisa as part of our class of 2018. And
tell us how Emerge Oregon, Nafisa, how Emerge Oregon helped you get ready to run for office.
Yeah, I think Jillian can summarize it better, but Emerge Oregon really teaches you the nuts and bolts of how to run for office successfully, starting with your values and the passion that you have of helping people. And, I almost missed this opportunity. My friend Rosa Klein sent me the link to apply the application to that class. And I remember telling, well, is this really something for me? Are you sure, Rosa? And I thought, she'll forget about if I don't respond her questions immediately, or and I think a day before the application was due, Rosa said, Nafisa, have you turned in your application? And I remember emailing back and said, oh, I'm going to do it. I want to do it because I really didn't want to disappoint her, because she saw something in me that this was the right fit. And I told her, one of the part of the application, the requirement is you have to submit a letter of recommendation. And I said to Rosa, there's a letter of recommendation due. I understand if it's too late. And I remember her emailing back and said, give me 2 hours. And she sent in her letter of recommendation, and I submit my applications. And, the other thing that, besides teaching you how to run for office successfully, one of the great things that Emerge does is it gives you a network, really a sisterhood, a group of women that really take you under their wings and show you around the ropes and take you to places and introduce you. There's a Felicita Monteblanco here in Washington County. She took me under her wing, and I wouldn't have met her if it wasn't for Emerge.
Let me bring
introduced me to a lot of
Jillian back in here. How many women were you trying to get elected this election cycle, and who are some of the notable women who have been elected after going through your training?
Well, this year we had over 70 women who were either on the May and or November ballots, the primary and general elections, and across the state. And, in Emerge, I want to say this first. We encourage our women to run for the office that aligns with what they're passionate about, the issues that they really want to work on. Some of them choose to move, to up to higher office, and some don't. Either way is fine. But our 2 statewide electeds that we are, of course, are very proud of are Val Hoyle, who is the state's Labor Commissioner, and Shemia Fagan, who was just elected as our next Secretary of State.
Commissioner-elect Fide, during the campaign, did you experience any reluctance from citizens or discrimination even based on the color of your skin or that you're a Muslim and wear a headscarf?
Before the primary, when I was door knocking and getting my face in front of the voters and asking their votes, people were honored that even somebody like myself with this background is running, and they really were ready to get behind me. And so I haven't really experienced anything when I was door knocking. Now on social media it's completely different, unfortunately, and it's really easy to mobilize people with hate in their heart. So I've experienced a lot, and there were times that it got really messy and scary, and really thought about if this is the right path for me, because I have small children that I, want to see, graduate and, get married and lead a life that I'm leading and live a long life as well. But by the grace of God, nothing bad happened to me, and we took some precautions, of course, and even when I was door knocking, we always, put that measure in place to be safe. And I had a few people that were volunteers that were door knocking with me, but online, unfortunately, was super scary for me. And I think one article that was done in the beginning on me, I think attracted a lot of hate. And to be honest, some of the people were not even from Oregon. They didn't even know I was in Oregon. Some were confused that I was in Florida, or, so I'm not sure how they reached my information or how my information reached them, but somehow they found me. And I got a lot of association to our Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar, because we're both from Somalia and have quite a bit of a resemblance. And so, but nothing too dangerous.
Well, thank goodness. I know online can be a scary place. You're breaking barriers, though, and creating hope. Jillian, how do you view Nafisa Faye's election to the Washington County Board of Commissioners? What do you think it means for the county and for women who might think about running for office?
Well, I would like to highlight all of our women of color who ran in Washington County, won their races. Washington County, like you said earlier, is, I think it is the most diverse county right now, and it's about time. And I am just grateful for Nafisa and the other women who stepped up to run, because it is the most public job interview of your life, and it's not easy. So I'm just grateful to be part of their journey, because we need them in these elected positions. And I'm just so excited that Washington County will have Nafisa, particularly because of her public health background. It is needed.
And Nafisa is involved with contact tracing in Washington County, but we're just about out of time. I'd love to have you back on to talk more about that. But Nafisa, just a few seconds left. Anything else you'd like to say to viewers?
Thank you. It's a great day to be Oregonian, and to borrow, a few words from our Secretary-elect Shemia Fagan. I'm just an ordinary Oregonian, and I look forward to serving our community.
Commissioner-elect Nafisa Faye, thank you for joining us, and good luck. And we'll hear more from Jillian Shoney in our next segment. Coming up next, we'll meet another woman who worked with Emerge Oregon, Westland Mayor-elect Jules Walters, and we'll hear how other women can get involved. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Straight Talk. I'm Laurel Porter. There were 4 candidates who ran for mayor in West Linn, and voters chose current city councilor Jules Walters to take the helm of the city. Walters will take over at a challenging time, with complaints about dysfunction on the council and a racist scandal that rocked the West Linn Police Department and the community as a whole. Mayor-elect Walters joins us now, along with the CEO of Emerge Oregon, Jillian Shoney, an organization that helped Walters and many other women prepare for and run for office. It's great to have you both here. We welcome back Jillian, and congratulations, Mayor-elect Walters. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You were elected to the city council in 2018. Why did you decide you wanted to run for mayor of West Linn?
Well, I just really enjoyed the work I was doing as a counselor. And after different issues came up during that time, I really saw a need for new leadership on our city government, and especially, with the mayoral role opening up, I decided that it was time for me to step up and take that office.
You also went through the Emerge Oregon training. We talked to Nafisa Faye about it in our first segment. How did that help you in your decision to run for office?
Emerge has been an excellent organization. I have learned so much from Jillian and all of the women that have gone through the Emerge program across the state, across the nation. It gave me the confidence to believe I can run. A lot of women need to sometimes feel asked to run and don't necessarily just decide to run. And Emerge has really brought out the need for women in office. We need more of a representation of women across Oregon in different offices and committees that just, to govern through a different lens.
Jillian, what do you think Jules Walters' election means for Westland?
Oh, well, I've been watching the Westland City Council for a long time, and I am just really excited that for every community member in that city, that they now have an inclusive, compassionate leader who will listen and bring the change that is needed in Westland and so many other parts of our states when it comes to communities of color and also our LGBTQ individuals. There's been, a lot of debate and controversy recently, and I think Jules is the leader that the community needs and that we need across our state to really make sure that our communities are welcoming for everyone.
And Mayor-elect Walters, you do have some big challenges before you, including serious concerns about police reform and accountability in the Westland Police Department. So to go back a little bit and refresh our viewers' memories, in 2017, Michael Fesser, a black man, was targeted and falsely arrested by Westland police. He had confided in his boss at a towing company that he thought he was facing racial discrimination at work, and that's when his boss called in a favor from his friend, the then chief of police of the Westland Police Department, to arrest Fesser before he could sue his company. The chief ordered officers to investigate Fesser and build a case around allegations he was stealing from the Portland Towing Company. 2 Westland sergeants then arrested and detained Fesser. That incident eventually ended with the city of Westland settling with Fesser for $600,000 for wrongful arrest and discrimination. It's one of the biggest wrongful arrest cases in Oregon history. Fesser's lawyer called it old boy style racism. Mayor-elect Walters, you were on the Westland Council when you learned about this. What was your reaction to all this?
Yeah, that's a great question, and thank you for bringing this up. This has been a centerpiece of the work that we've been doing all year. It first came to my attention in some closed-door executive sessions, but as a counselor, I wasn't really supplied with the full breadth of what was happening. So when the settlement happened and the public was outraged, we had a meeting that night, a city council meeting. We had a wide variety of community members come in and express their outrage, their disappointment, and I agreed to hold myself accountable to fixing things. So we've done several pieces of work. In fact, last night I was on a meeting with our new police oversight task force. That is something that I proposed to the council, and we have a citizen group, a wide variety of people from different backgrounds who are working together to create an entity that will oversee our police department so that people who have complaints have a place to make that complaint that's not to the police department, and also to have an independent perhaps arm or entity that will look at those complaints and decide which ones need to be investigated. And that's just the first level. We're still doing an equity audit at the moment. We have several investigations going on into what happened back in 2017 and 18. We have an independent investigation happening, a DOJ investigation happening. But I'm really looking forward to, in my first 3 years as mayor, making sure that we're heading down that path of really having transformative equity policies so that everybody in Westland feels welcome and safe.
Mr. Fesser recently addressed some concerned citizens in a video forum and said he doesn't think much has changed in Westland. Is there anything you would say to Mr. Fesser? What kind of pledge you could make to him?
Yes, I understand his frustration. There have been times where I've shared that frustration as well. Sometimes things take longer to happen than we want them to. I can pledge to him that I'm working very hard and have been working very hard all year to continue on this work and will not stop until I feel like we have come to a place where we can really grow and change as a community. Mr. Fesser is a great man. He's come many times times to the excuse me, to our community. He's met with our youth. He's met with different community members and has done a lot of community work to try and bring us together and bridge us with his community in Northeast Portland. I would like to work with him to continue that work in my role as mayor. And I'm hoping that as soon as the pandemic is over, that will be a much easier thing to do.
I want to jump back to Emerge Oregon and Jillian. For other women who are watching who might have an inkling they might like to run for office, what would you like to say to them?
Well, you do not have to apply to our program knowing 110% exactly what you want to run for and when. Like, a lot of women come into our program and use our process to figure out if elected office is how they want to serve their community, because there are a variety of roles one can take to the betterment of their community. Elected office is just one. But if they go to our website, if you Google Emerge Oregon, you can jump on there and you can learn the basics. And we have a variety of programs that we'll offer next year. We have our signature program, which is 6 to 7 months of meetings and trainings, but we also do some boot camps every now and again for women who just want to get a little taste and try it on for size before deciding. But those women, I would encourage, get involved. Our elected leaders can't do it all on their own, so show up at those city council meetings, those school board meetings, those county commission meetings, and share with our elected leaders what is going on, help them be successful in their jobs.
Jules, do you want to elaborate on that? What would you like to say to other potential candidates or women who'd like to get involved?
Well, first of all, I would reach out to an organization just like Emerge and find that group of people that that you can reach out to through the process for guidance and encouragement. There are definitely times where you need encouragement on this road. However, it's so rewarding, it's worth it. And don't be afraid. I think just step up and try it, and you'll find it to be life-changing.
We have about 2 minutes left. Jillian, I know you have a lot of confidence in Mayor-elect Jules Walters. Why?
We need leaders like Jules who make it very clear to everyone in the community that any form of hate is unacceptable, and who are committed to the change we need for the long term. And we just have to start facing these issues head on and bringing people together to figure out a much better way forward so that everybody feels welcome in our communities throughout Oregon. And it's long overdue, and I am just grateful for Jules stepping up and making that commitment. And I believe 110% that Jules will deliver.
We have about a minute left, Jules, but I did want to let you have some time to talk about, just briefly, a couple of your other priorities for Westland.
Oh, I have a whole list, and I'm excited to get to work. I would say, of course, we've already mentioned meaningful police reform, equitable and safe, welcoming communities for all. But we also have a lot of transportation issues coming up here in Westland. There's a plan to toll the I-205 just here around our city, which I don't find is equitable and is disproportionately putting a lot of diversion traffic onto our roads. So what I'm really looking forward to do is repairing and building new regional partnerships. So we're at the table when these decisions are made with transportation, with housing, with infrastructure. Those are all key. And also I want to improve outreach and communication within the city itself with our community. And so that way we could be making more data-informed decision-making and community-based policy-making. And finally, between the pandemic and the wildfires we had here, especially in Clackamas County, our neighborhood was choked with smoke, as most were across the region. And so I really want to look at disaster resiliency, including the pandemic and wildfire response, and see how we've done and what we can do to rebuild and improve those systems.
Well, Mayor-elect Jules Walters, Jillian Shoney, thank you for joining us, and good luck to both of you. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching and listening. Be sure to download our podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. We're off next week for Thanksgiving. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you in 2 weeks for Straight Talk.